From Erling Haaland and Eden Hazard to Benjamin Sesko and Kacper Kozłowski, Europe's smaller leagues are gaining a reputation as talent factories. If we had $1 for every time a new Polish or Portuguese wunderkind was linked to a club in the Bundesliga or Premier League, we could probably afford to buy one. But what are Belgium, Poland, Portugal and other leagues doing to consistently create such impressive talent? Welcome to another OneFootball and Athletic Interest collaboration presented by Bybit. In this video we will understand how smaller leagues create the biggest talents and why the best players are often born in September. Belgium didn't always have the best national team in men's football. Before the days of De Bruyne, Hazard and Courtois, Belgium would often struggle in major competitions. After being humiliated at Euro 2000, a tournament they were co-hosting, Belgium decided to implement radical changes at the youth level. Experts realized that young kids were simply not playing enough football. At the time, most youth teams would conduct about 10 hours of training per week, but experts estimated that kids needed double that to reach their highest potential. With the help of the Belgian government, the Football Association created sports schools that gave kids 3 hours of football training almost every morning. Top clubs were also given permission by local schools to have more contact time with their academy players. Belgium placed 5 of these sports schools across the country, ensuring that all kids had easy access to a football education. Portugal also prioritizes ease of access. Benfica has opened 5 regional training centers across Portugal, allowing kids to continue their development while staying close to their friends and family. This is a stark contrast to top clubs in England and Germany, which often move youth prospects away from their families and put them in boarding schools or host families near the club's training facilities. With huge populations and strong competition for places, Europe's top academies are quick to give up on kids that struggle to impress. Thanks to a far smaller talent pool, smaller leagues can give young players more time to develop. This approach is helping those leagues become more efficient at producing talent because they are less affected by the age bias. The age bias is the understanding that the fractionally older players within a certain age group have a massive advantage over the younger teammates. Imagine that a club wants to create an under-16 team. Any player looking to join must turn 16 within the school year, which runs from September to the end of the following August. If Andy's 16th birthday is on the 2nd of September and David celebrates his sweet 16 on August 31st, most clubs would consider them to be in the same age group. In reality, Andy is almost 1 year ahead in his development. He is probably taller, stronger and far more athletic than David. The Andys of the football world are considered more talented and given better opportunities to progress. The Davids are almost always sidelined. Belgium realized that 40% of their elite youth players were born in the first 3 months of the school year. Almost none of them had their birthday in the last quarter. Experts in Belgium understood that if you give David another 12 months, he will catch up and perhaps even surpass Andy. Belgian youth teams now try to eliminate this bias by operating 2 separate teams in each age group, one for every 6 months of the year. This allows kids to compete with other players at similar stages of development. It is estimated that elite academies waste about 25% of potential talent because they fall for the age bias. This philosophy of giving underappreciated players an opportunity extends up to the first team. Elite clubs are often accused of favoring experience over youth. This is understandable, given the constant pressure to win trophies. In 2019, the Polish Ekstraklasa ruled that every team must have at least 1 academy player on the pitch at any time. In Poland's lower divisions, the club which records the most minutes played by youth players at the end of each season receives a financial bonus. Both of these schemes are aimed at speeding up the development of the country's young stars. Austrian champions Red Bull Salzburg show exactly what can happen when you give youth a chance. Mané, Haaland and Keita used the first-team opportunities to develop into some of Europe's biggest talents. This philosophy of trusting talent has started to spread to the elite clubs. In 2017, contract talks between Jadon Sancho and Manchester City broke down because the club was unable to guarantee enough first-team game time. Months later, Borussia Dortmund snapped up Sancho for 8 million. Lots of goals and assists later, and Dortmund sold Sancho for 85 million. Almost every football club is terrified of losing its biggest stars, but some clubs in the smaller leagues have started to embrace their roles as talent factories. When Red Bull Salzburg considers a recruit, they conduct a thorough screening of the player's footballing ability and psychological profile. The club will only greenlight the transfer if they are convinced that he can eventually be sold for a few multiples of his current value. Portuguese clubs have even changed how they train players to maximize their potential value on the transfer market. When the transfer market demanded fast players, Portuguese clubs focused on dribbling and developed numerous world-class wingers. As soon as demand shifted towards players with a deeper understanding of the game, Portuguese clubs began to produce more defenders and midfielders. Even clubs in Major League Soccer are working hard to sell their biggest talents to Europe. We are reaching the point where we are able to create a high value for the players that we are investing in and becoming a league that is involved and engaged in the international marketplace. More and more players are viewing the MLS as a stepping stone to an elite club, while the teams themselves are pushing for closer transfer links with the likes of Bayern Munich and Leipzig. As these clubs understand the short-term nature of their relationships with these players, they don't panic when the inevitable transfers occur. And so the cycle continues. Effectively, clubs are creating a conveyor belt of talent where the success of an outgoing player not only increases the supply of new talent, but also boosts the demand for that same talent in the future. Money is the main driving force behind the talent factory approach. The gap between the revenues of Europe's big 5 leagues and the rest of the world grows every year. If a league can consistently develop high-value players and make profits on the transfer market, the economic strength of its clubs will grow, allowing them to hold onto their best players in the future. At least so goes the theory. The question is if these smaller clubs will actually be able to break the circle of being a talent factory for the elite by one day joining the elite. In recent years, it seemed like the only way of joining Europe's elite was by investing a lot of money. But maybe the talent factory approach just takes more time. While elite clubs are willing to waste talent in order to maximize short-term success, Europe's smaller leagues have realized the huge opportunities that came from prioritizing up-and-coming stars. Thanks a lot to Bybit for supporting this video, and until next time.